by Honolulu. So high caliber, rapid fire, and the tacticals taken out in the process. Kinetic armor still in the game, and Sydney's going to open up with that.
I see. We'll probably see the big three come out with like kinetic armor, active camo, and heat wave. Interesting thing, we don't see anyone go after the afterburner. You think how big that can be here on EVAC uplink, and now Tree will pull out the scythe in this one to try to hold it down for Rebel.
Of course, and I wonder how Rebel, like, are they going to start adapting to LG's playstyle? But I gotta say, like, this is going to go in LG's favor. They were slaying so well on map number 1, just completely not letting Rebel have any hill control. And it's probably going to be the same thing, not letting Rebel have any spawn control, not any drone spawn control either. But at least Rebel had some good setups going on. Like, they would go and rotate for anchor, and then they would go for hill time. Like, they had the right strategies going on. Probably going to be the same thing for uplink. They're going to try and slay out their spawn, get the numbers, and move up. But it's the slaying. Can Rebel put the slaying forward, which we didn't see much of in map number 1? So I just got to give it to LG. You know, Blush was absolutely going off. Didn't she start like 12-1, or it was like 8-1 in map number 1? So I think she's going to pull some kind of crazy thing like that here too.
Speaking of crazy, I'm questioning this from Rebel. You see Psychosis picked up by Gruesome. You should trade that for Heatwave, I feel. If Heatwave is up in this situation, do you think at the end of game number 2, how pretty much LG was able to win it because of that play with Heatwave dropping down to the A site? It's something that you want on the board here and that you want in your team composition for game number 3. And even then, this Rebel team, from what we've seen, like, not judging everything from them, I haven't seen them so much to the point where I can say definitively, but LG is a stronger slaying team. You sort of want that help that you get from Heatwave in some of these engagements.
Of course, and we saw, you know, like in our last matchup, Mokic sitting in these hills and popping Heatwave. It's going to be the same thing like in the map number 1 of this game. We saw Blush and S&D pop the Heatwave, guaranteeing herself kills. So Heatwave is such a crucial specialist to have in these one-on-one engagements. And then we talked about how the drone spawn is in such a tiny glass area, and we've seen Heatwave been popped over and over again, either in a hard point, and same thing going to be in an uplink to really guarantee you the kill, stun everybody around you that's trying to go for the drone, and then pick it up and run the other way with it. So surprised that they didn't go with the Heatwave, but they probably have some other defensive strategies with the Psychosis. Like, do you want to pop the Psychosis like middle map or in the drone spawn to really confuse what direction you're going with the drone? Or do you want to pop it right before you score to kind of distract or bait the other team so you can get that extra 2-point play? There's different things you could do with the Psychosis, but I still agree that the Heatwave was a must-have for the Rebel squad.
Yeah, and I really want to see some of the situations they get into in this game and where that Psychosis will be used, because I have 100% in my mind that Heatwave greater than Psychosis going into this game number 3. But we talked about spawn control. It's going to be huge in this game. You can set up, make sure teams are spawning out over on that field side, and just relay point after point. Rebel need to be paying attention to when they can go for the overextension, when they need to rotate back and make a definitive play to keep control of their base as well.
So we got to look at what are the ARs going to be, how they're going to set up, what ARs are going to be picked. Of course, Man of War and M8 taken out. We saw some ICR plays. I saw HVK yesterday, but I think it's going to be mainly the XR2s. I saw Vindictive use a lot of the XR2 as a backup for the M8. And I believe the ICR came out a couple times, but the VMP being protected, this is mostly going to be a VMP game to try and get control of the drone spawn, and one AR to really take control of the top glass and just overall watch over and make your subs feel comfortable around the map. So like I said, Blush using the XR2, Vindictive using the VMP, so they're switching up. Cook Clean Kill, also the Shiva was in the game, I forgot to note that as well. And on the side of Rebel, they have the XR2 set up, that's going to be Tree. She also has a thermal XR2, and they're throwing smokes onto the drone spawn, so very interesting strategy.
I'm very surprised to see the Shiva make it into game number 3 after the performance we saw with it in game number 1 by Cook Clean Kill. But what I like from Rebel so far, the aggression. Gruesome gonna pick up 2 before moving in the glass. She has her teammates here as well, so they need to take out at least one wave of these Luminosity players if they want to strike early.
Of course, and that's going to be Honolulu pushing forward through the smoke with the drone, has some teammates behind her, hopefully getting some kills, trying to go for the one, but Vindictive is going to shut her down, and that drone is going to be reset, but it is going to be Rebel Tree sitting here in the top with this thermal XR2. Once again, Rainbow with the 2-piece, 3 going down for LG, so Rebel could be moving this drone forward through the map. Honolulu having 2 base blockers in front of her. Is she able to go for the one? She should be able to get the one, and it does connect. Cook Clean Kill able to clean up 2, but not the drone carrier.
Now Tree is set up in bottom last. She has control of the drone. I gotta question this. Good job. She rotates it back towards her teammate. Spots one coming through the middle of the map. Gruesome able to clean that one up. Meanwhile, Rainbow will have control of the satellite drone. She's able to sneak past Cook Clean Kill here, making her way through the outside of the map. Long 1 point toss. That one might land on top of the building. It does. Delayed reset coming in.
Interesting play. I don't know if that was really necessary, but at least now both teams can concentrate on getting a little bit better control on it. I mean, Rainbow's throwing already some smokes as the drone has not even reset yet, but now it actually has reset, so now we're going to have possibly one of the teammates looking over with Thermal, but Blush is going to come actually around them, picking up one kill and just basically a roaming Slayer for LG, trying to get control of that drone spot. Rebel pushing forward, Honolulu and friend just searching for these LG players, so they should be picking up this drone any second now, but this is kind of a bloodbath to really take control of this area.
Look at this. Sydney's going to have herself a lot of work to do here. She has one player coming from the middle of the map. She gets caught off guard as she's going for the reload. Rainbow picks that one up. That kill traded right back. Now I want to hop on board with Cook Clean Kill, see what she's able to do inside of glass. The Salad Jones picked up right there. She's able to pick up that player, and then she's traded away as well. And this is sort of what we saw in the last series between Orbit and GD. Both teams sort of smacked in the middle of the map, not really able to push a little bit more and completely take out a wave of players. But look right now, Rebel do still have the early lead right now. They're looking really good, and this is the best I think we've seen Rebel this entire series.
Of course, but however, 3 go down, make that 4 go down for Rebel. LG going to be on the aggression, but I like how LG are changing their playstyle. They're pushing past the drone spawn, almost trying to surround Rebel's push, and now that's exactly what they're doing. Cook Clean Kill pushing forward, but Honolulu is going to shut her down along with Vindictive. Gruesome trading that with Blush. Rainbow now picking up the drone, not going to go for the reset. She's going to play it towards this water area. LG have to do a little bit of defense now, and that's going to start with Sydney picking up a kill on Gruesome. Now the rest just have to stop this throw from Rainbow, but looks like she's going for the 2, and maybe just another one of those delayed resets, not making it through all the way. Or actually, it wasn't a delayed reset, as her teammate, or sorry, LG is able to go for the reset.
Interesting play there. I do like that she just ends up throwing it for yards because she's completely out of position and she has control of that drone. But now Rebel on the attack again. Rainbow in control of the drone. Her teammate Gruesome falls, so she just goes for that reset, turns around, trying to pick up the kill, but Blush able to shut her down. That's good for LG. Now you have 3 players around that glass side. They'll be able to grab the drone. Now they can easily set up for this spawn trap if the kills go in their favor.
Of course, and Vindictive is going to start with 1, but Cook Clean Kill is going to put the 2 in, making this a 2-1 game. She's going to be shut down, but now LG are going to be on top of the drone once again. That's going to be Sydney, and also there's still, I believe that's Blush in the Rebel spawn, doing that spawn trap that you talked about, but Rebel doing a good job of rotating back to their spawn. Another point's going through, another 2-point play. Blush still being a nuisance with that VMP in the spawn, able to clean up 2 more players, currently on a 6 kill streak, 75 off the lightning strike, but that's Honolulu running away on the other side with the drone, almost gets the melee, but Sydney's going to recover that and actually play the drone along with her teammates.
That was a great play from the side of LG before, right? They used the kinetic armor to make sure that 2-point play goes in. Now Vindictive, the forward pass up to Blush. She has control of the drone. This looks like another 2-point play on the board that gives LG a 5-point lead, and Blush has a lightning strike and a hellstorm to work with going into the second half.
So what do you do if you're Rebel? So if LG are surrounding you, putting you in a spawn trap, do you overextend, or do you try to rotate back to your base based on how Rebel is playing? What would you do?
Right now, I do like what Rebel's able to do. You see, they get a 2-point play there right at the end, and switching sides. This is good for Rebel. We saw the amount of pressure they were able to put on the map. We saw the kills and the trades going in their favor. They can easily set up for that field side spawn trap and tie this game, and then even force the game number 4 on the other side from LG. I think the mid-round switch really helps them, right? They switch up their playstyle a little bit. They're getting a little more aggressive as well. They just need to bring the slaying power that we saw in the previous maps to close out the series.
Of course, I thought Rebel were doing very good in the first half. Just they were very, very aggressive, throwing smokes, getting on top of the drone, drone, but the 1-point plays and the delayed resets were kind of a little bit questionable. I'm not really sure what was going on there. They could have put a lot more points if they had a more coordinated push. Honolulu going to be in charge of the drone, actually able to put a 2-point play, only making this a 1-possession game right off in the 30 seconds of the game. But as you can see, LG have 3 specialists in their back pocket. Cook, Clean Kill with the Annihilator, Blush, Heatwave, and Vindictive with the active camo. 3 go down for Rebel. There's smokes on the drone spawn. Vindictive is going to recover the drone, opting to go towards the middle of the map, actually going to turn back and maybe follow her teammates, but huge kills coming out of Blush. She cleans up 2, almost making it a 3rd, and no, Gruesome is there to shut her down.
Vindictive now still in control of the satellite drone, not using the active camo. The 1-point toss up and in, and Luminosity are up by 2. Now, looking at that, I really love the positioning from Sydney as she tries to go back towards that middle door. He's taken out, but she was able to stay there so long from that last push from LG. She drew the aggro, got the attention of those Rebel players, sort of throwing them or took them out of the position that they had on the map. Now both teams trying to fight for control of middle glass once again. That battle going to go in favor of Rebel.
Oh no, Honolulu accidentally resetted the drone, just trying to put it down so she could help her team slay. Let's see, Tree is going to recover that drone, pushing it forward towards the map. Now it is in the LG base, but Rebel are not there to have any more scoring opportunities happen. Now Rebel are actually spawning a little bit, Blush is going to be pushing towards the left side of the map. I got confused with the spawns there for a second, but now she's going to have a player right in front of her and actually goes somehow, I guess she reset the drone. Or she died and the drone fell off the map. Either way, drone back in its original spawn. Rebel putting 2 players of LG down, and now LG just have to spawn a little bit out of their base. Now Honolulu's going to lead with the drone.
Kills behind all of these players, and Honolulu will be front person for Rebel. She can line up the 1-point toss instead. As the kills in their favor, goes for the 2, ties up the game. This is looking good for Rebel. Once again, this is the best play we've seen out of them from this entire series. Now, with Luminosity in control of glass, Tree will be able to pull out the sight. The smoke, though, blocking her line of sight, is not able to see any of the Luminosity players. Vindictive has control of the drone, has worked her way. He pops the active camo. That's another 2-point play in for Luminosity.
But that's 3 going down for Luminosity as well. Vindictive has to clean out her base a little bit. 1 more player to worry about, but Tree's going to take her down with the sight. So Honolulu leading the charge here, doing a little bit of a wall run. Is she able to get the 1, almost falling off the map and misses the 2? Gets a little too greedy there, but the 2-point play really would have made this a tie game, but you got to go for those guaranteed throws. However, Rainbow going to try this once again, going for the 1, is going to be shot up a little bit, liking this wall run, possibly could be recovering the drone, but Blush is there to clean her up.
Now Cook, Clean Kill in control of the drone. There's a player getting ready to push her as well from the Rebel side. That's Honolulu. She ends up in possession of the drone, jumps up, cleans up Cook, Clean Kill. That leaves Sydney, the last one up for LG around this. Gruesome takes her out, and now the Psychosis coming out of Gruesome as well. The rest of those drones are pretty much behind her, freeze her up. She's going for the 2-point play, not able to make it drop there. Once again, I think Rebel should just go for the 1-point toss in that situation. That's 2 in a row where they can cut into the lead just a little bit. It's still a 1-possession game. Just try and even up the score if it means you can get those 1-point plays on the board.
Well, just imagine if they would have went for the 1-point play earlier and the 1-point play there, it would have been a tie game by now. But Blush is going to punish them for that, possibly pretty much going for the 2-point play, making this an 11-7 game, calling in the Hellstorm, seeing where these players from Rebel are all over the drone spot. So she's able to call that out to her team. 2 players of Rebel go down. Honolulu trying to pick up the drone, but Sydney is there to shut her down. 3 go down for Rebel, and this is going to be I don't want to say this is game already for Rebel, but you're down 4 points. Sydney in charge of the drone, putting more points on the board for LG. Blush is going to clean up 2, so Rebel have a lot of defense to do. Seeing Sydney's coming on the wall run, can they stop her? Sydney goes for the 1 and actually doesn't end up throwing it. She gets shut down, and Rebel are going to go for the reset.
It was a
Actually,
game.
no, Vindictive was there to pick it up.
It was a game of divide and conquer for Rebel, and they were not able to clutch up there, but they do have control of glass. But they're down 13-7 now with less than 30 seconds on the clock. This is not looking good for them. Luminosity looking strong to try and get the 3-0. Now Vindictive in control of the drone. She has a blocker in front of her to work with. That's a clean kill. Meanwhile, you see the split push coming. Blush and Sydney are coming through the middle of the map. That drone is just reset. Play it for time. LG completing the 3-0.
Completing the 3-0, like you said, and also qualifying for Season 2, like we said before. Very important matchup, and Luminosity were able to close it out, along with Team Orbit, who did qualify as well. And I think what else is there on the schedule for you guys. We have XGN versus somebody to be determined. Who is that? XGN versus Savage. Finally,